All right, welcome back, everyone. It is now time for Showbiz Theater, and of course, as usual, we have Jason in the studio.
Hello, Adrian.
Yes, hello, Jason. How are you?
I'm good. I'm very, very good. It's always a pleasure to be here, and I always say that with some great delight.
Well, so thank you very much
for having me.
We need some of your positive energy here today.
Oh, really? Well, I'll give as much as I possibly can.
Very good. And I think we'll be talking about a movie. Tell us more.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about a documentary, a fascinating, illuminating documentary. It's a fantastic film. I'll give this film 5 stars out of 5. It's a really, really great film.
5 out of 5?
Yeah. I saw it earlier this week. I was really, really impressed.
Really?
Yeah.
So we'll have some details about this documentary/movie right now.
Yeah, exactly. Without further ado, today we're talking about MANSHIN 10,000 Spirits, directed by Park Chan-wook's younger brother, Park Jung-kyun. Shamans who become the medium between God and mankind and who cross between life and death are known as MANSHIN. The female MANSHIN Kim Dong-hwa is a land MANSHIN who oversees national prosperity and the welfare of the people and is a Korean traditional dancer whose talents are acknowledged by the world. She is also a religious person who the Pope respects and is a very innocent lady. She delivers the words of others, and we do not know what kind of stories are in her life. She has a strange fate where she is possessed by spirits, but she's also honored as a national treasure of Korea. Her life story started a new chapter in the history of Korean shamanism culture. A lonely but beautiful journey of a woman who is a shaman begins.
So Jason, 5 out of 5 for this movie, 5 stars.
Yep.
Tell us more about it. I'm actually quite curious. Shamanism, what is it exactly?
Well, it's a difficult concept to understand, but in a nutshell, or put simply if I can, it's a way of, it's between kind of life and death, a way of communicating with spirits, if you like.
Yeah.
And one of the things I like about this film is that it gives viewers, I would say, a decent level of understanding of what shamanism really is. I've seen Korean films in the past that have tackled this subject, and they just come across as very kind of ambiguous and very difficult to understand what shamanism is. But here, it's a fascinating look at shamanism, but in the context as well of Korean history.
Yeah, did you have any problems understanding the movie itself?
I guess there's a few areas that I couldn't fully comprehend, but having said that, as a whole, I think it's not overly difficult to understand, assuming you have subtitles for those that don't speak Korean, because there's a lot of terminology that's used in the film. Yeah. But generally, no, I didn't have too many difficulties understanding it, which is one of the reasons why I really liked it, because in the past I found it very difficult to understand what shamanism, what is MANSHIN, and so on and so forth.
So what is MANSHIN? MANSHIN is actually the title.
Yeah,
so what is it?
It's kind of between life and death, I guess, this kind of communication or this ability to be able to be in between life and death.
So between what, gods and human beings?
Exactly. So that's what this individual in the film, Kim Dong-hwa, she's able to be part of this concept between life and death. So she has spirits. She's able to communicate with spirits, and this film wonderfully looks at her and her past, the way she was brought up, and so on and so forth.
So she's basically what, an old lady with what, supernatural powers, and she's able to tell the future. She comes up with what, exorcism rituals, or
and she commands an enormous amount of respect, both in Korea and out of Korea, and that's interesting because shamanism, as taught in the film, hasn't always been a popular ritual or set of rituals. No. In fact, it was looked down upon, but it has changed over the years, and this film wonderfully explores that.
Interesting. Now, Jason, I haven't seen the movie myself. However, I actually read that the director wanted to capture the unique and soul beauty of Korea. Is that true?
Yeah, and he's done it extremely well. I just love the way this film is put into a kind of a historical context of where Korea has come from, and also conveying its beautiful culture through its colours, the patterns, everything.
Yeah.
And that's why this film is a work of art, because it looks at shamanism, but it also looks at Korea, it looks at its history, it looks at culture, and it just looks at it all in one and how they're all connected.
It's a nice overview, basically.
It's a wonderful overview.
Tradition.
Yeah, and it doesn't lose its audience, I feel. Yeah. And that's one of its great strengths.
Now, I think foreigners, when they view shamanism, they often think of it as a traditional form of art rather than a belief or a religion. What do you have to say?
Yeah, and I think the director kind of looks at that in that it's not just a religion, it's an art form, there's music,
it's lively, exciting,
beautiful costumes. And the people involved in shamanism, this lady, Kim Gung-hwa, is lovely. She's an absolutely adorable lady, and she's not crazy as people might assume she might be. And so is able to kind of look at the humanistic elements of shamanism, which I really, really enjoyed and admire about the film.
Maybe she's just normal and we're the crazy ones.
Exactly. Totally.
Now, Jason, let's talk about the actresses here in this movie. I know we have some younger ones, some older ones as well. How does it work here?
Well, it's a really interesting mix. Basically, like I said earlier, we look at the life of Kim Gung-hwa, this famous individual in the world of shamanism in Korea. Now, the film goes back to her earlier years, so we have three actresses playing different periods of her life. So we have Kim Se-ron playing the very young
childhood.
The childhood. She's referred to as Nom-se as a child, and so she plays that role. And of course, Kim Se-ron is famous for her role in the Ajashi, otherwise known as the Man from Nowhere, with Won-bin, and so she plays a great role here as well. She has, I think, her agency have a real good eye for great scripts and great films, and she plays a fantastic role here.
Great actress, of course.
Fantastic actress. She's got huge potential. I think she could be an enormous actress here in the Korean film industry.
Okay, so we'll have to keep an eye out on her activities in the future.
So, definitely, she's blossoming too. I mean, she's a very beautiful girl. Indeed.
Okay, now moving on up and in, I guess, the more teenage years of this person.
Yoo Hyung-young, who was in A Petty Romance, and she plays, like, 17-year-old Kim Gung-hwa. And again, she's able to bring out these humanistic qualities. Now, this individual, Kim Gung-hwa, had quite a difficult upbringing, and so these actresses are able to convey that element of her, or those elements of her character.
And so the transition between, I mean, the early stages of the main character's life and also the middle stages and the latter stages are all good?
They're all good, and they run smoothly. I guess the danger is that it can be a little bit disconnected, choppy, but that's not what happens here. What the director does is he's managed to make it gel so well that it just feels like just one whole film.
Smooth.
Very smooth, and you have this kind of documentary, it's documentary, but you also have this movie as well. And then at the end of the film, you have these three characters coming together with, of course, the Kim Gung-hwa, the figure that takes place, the figure that they're looking at in the film.
Now, the last, I guess, stages of her life are basically played by Moon So-ri.
Yeah, Moon So-ri, who's a huge actress in Korea. She's one of my favorite actresses. She's been in so many films. I mean, one of her most famous appearances was, of course, Oasis, that Lee Chang-dong film. And we just saw her just now. She plays the slightly older version of Kim Gung-hwa. And it doesn't matter what movie she's in. She's
nothing to say about her
She's
acting.
always able to deliver the goods. She's an incredibly versatile actress, and she's just unable to play a bad role. So yeah, she's a great actress, and she's perfect for the role.
So I guess we'll have to look forward to the chemistry and also the acting of these three charming actresses.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, Jason, I know that you're also quite well informed about the director of this movie. Give us some details.
Yeah, it's directed, like I said earlier, it's directed by Park Chang-wook's slightly younger brother, Park Chung-kyung. And the two of them often make films together. They've made some short films, Night Fishing, for example. And so they're both exceptionally talented.
Yeah.
Park Chan-wook, of course, is well known for his films such as Old Boy, Lady Vengeance, and Thirst, Stoker, and so on and so forth. And here his younger brother really does show off his talents. So,
as well.
And so if you do like Park Chan-wook, then I strongly recommend that you check out his brother's film too.
This movie, very artistic, and our viewers will definitely get a glimpse of Korea, true Korea.
Exactly. It really is an enlightening film that conveys Korean culture, history, and shamanism, all of the above in an extremely compelling manner.
And 5 stars out of 5 for you. That's your recommendation.
And I don't often give them.
No.
I only give them for the true treasures.
MANSHIN,
yep.
10,000 spirits.
Exactly.
Well, Jason, unfortunately, basically, this is the end of this segment. We're having this new season. It's going to start next week. So, do you have anything you want to say? How was it for you?
Yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure being able to introduce Korean films every week.
Yeah.
And it's been a real honor. And I've really enjoyed every moment of it, including talking with you, Adrian. So
thank you.
Thank you very much for being so welcoming and hospitable. And I hope that I can see our viewers on here on the show very, very soon.
Hopefully we'll have you again here for some more updates about Korean movies.
Yeah.
But thank you for your hard work and all your efforts.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, everyone. Well, this marks the end of Showbiz Theater for now. We'll have to say goodbye to Jason, and hopefully we'll get to see him soon again. Who knows? Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.